everyone, welcome back to my channel. We are here with another makeup tutorial. I'm going to be showing you guys how I got this super cute metallic eye. We've got some crystals going on. You guys know how much I love some crystals. So we're going to be getting into this look. So if you want to see how I got it, then just go ahead and keep on watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that little notification bell. That way you get notified anytime that I make a new upload. So let's go ahead and get into this look. I'm going to be moisturizing the skin first using a new moisturizer that I just recently got from e.l.f. It's their Holy Hydration face cream. I'm loving this stuff because it has hyaluronic acid. I love using hyaluronic acid in my skincare routine, and this face cream also has an SPF of 30, so it's going to give you that extra bit of sun protection. Then next I'm going to go in with my primer. I'm going to use the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Primer. So I was a little bit nervous when I put this on my skin because this primer is clear. And as you can see, like as I'm like blending it out, it's not so clear. It's like white, which was kind of like throwing me off a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was a little bit nervous because I thought I was gonna have to start over my skin routine, but I just kind of went with it. I kept blending that primer in until it kind of disappeared into the skin and went clear again, and just kind of continued with my skin routine, hoping and praying that everything turned out great, and thank God that it did. So I didn't end up having to start all over again. I think it was the sunscreen and the moisturizer that I was using beforehand. But thankfully, like once I blended in the primer and it started to kind of like settle down, like settle into the skin, like I went through my foundation and my concealer and everything like that, and everything turned out fine. And then for my final prepping step, I'm going to use the Milk Hydro Grip Prep and Set setting spray. I like to use this like right after primer just to give the skin a little bit of extra security, give it a little bit of something extra to hold on to that foundation to make sure that nothing is moving, nothing is going nowhere throughout the day. So now that we are all done prepping the skin, I'm going to move on to foundation. I'm going to be using the NARS Soft Matte Foundation in shade Morea. Love this foundation. It just gives the skin this super beautiful, like literal soft matte finish. Like the name of this foundation is literally spot on. It definitely gives the skin this really beautiful soft matte finish. I think out of all the foundations that NARS has launched over the years, this has definitely been like my all-time favorite. Like I love the coverage, love the finish. I even love like the packaging and the fact that it comes in like a little squeezy tube versus like a pump. Like I feel like I have so much more control over how much product that I'm using. So yeah, definitely try this foundation if you're into more of like a matte finish for your skin, but you don't want anything like super drying. I feel like this foundation is like the perfect balance. For concealer, I'm also using one from NARS. This is their Radiant Creamy Concealer. I'm going to be using this to highlight, so it's definitely a little bit lighter than my complexion. I'm going to place this onto the outer corner of the eyes, the inner corner of the eyes, as well as the under eye area, the sides of the nose, the sides of the mouth, and the chin, and I'm going to blend that in using my Beauty Bakery sponge. Then I'm going to go in with a little bit of extra concealer from e.l.f. I believe this is their Hydrating Camo Concealer. I'm using a shade that's a little bit lighter than that NARS concealer. I'm only using like the tiniest amount of this though, because this is much brighter, and that's pretty much what I'm using it for, is to give the under eyes a little bit of extra brightness, but not too much. So a small amount is literally like all you need. I'm just doing like a dot on each side of the under eyes, and I'm going to blend from there. I'm kind of late to the game. I just started using this e.l.f. concealer, but I'm in love. Like it's such a good concealer, and knowing e.l.f. is going to be super affordable as well, but the coverage of it really nice, and so is the finish. So now I'm going to go into my cream blush. I'm mixing two colors together from Melt Cosmetics. These are their cream blush lights in Sandy Cheeks and Polished. I'm going to mix those two together and apply that onto the apple of the cheeks as my base shade for my blush. I love using a cream or a liquid blush underneath my powder one because I feel like it just makes my blush in general last a whole lot longer. Then I'm going to go ahead and start setting the under eyes. I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush, oh my gosh, the Airbrush Flawless Finish Setting Powder. And I believe this is shade number 2. I'm going to use this to start setting the concealer. Every single time that I use this powder, like I fall in love with it all over again. It's just such a good setting powder. I love the fact that it's in a compact, so I can like put it in my purse and touch up when I'm going out and stuff. This is such a good powder. If you guys haven't tried this, I highly recommend. It's just like a really good powder. Like it's definitely one of my favorites. Then for the rest of the face, I'm going to use the Jordana Tissia Loose / Pressed Powder in shade Caramel. Honestly, looking back, I didn't even need to use a loose powder because that NARS foundation already has like a somewhat matte finish. So technically I didn't really even have to use a powder, but I think it's just more like force of habit that I ended up using a setting powder over my foundation. But this Jordana powder is so nice. And this powder is so cool. It has a loose powder at the bottom, and then if you open the top of the cap, it has a pressed powder at the top because it does come in like a variety of colors. There's more of like a yellowy like banana color, so that's usually one that I like to use to like do my initial set, like kind of what I did with that Charlotte Tilbury powder, and then I'll use the loose powder to do like my baking and stuff. But I love this shade here that I'm using called Caramel to do like my all over face setting, like to set like my foundation and stuff. So just wanted to throw that out there because I love these Jordana powders and I think they're so cute. Oh my gosh. And you guys already know we love to support our small Black owned brands. So if you're looking for a new powder, definitely check this one out. And now we are going to bake. I'm using the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Setting Powder in shade Blondie. We're gonna make sure to snatch up the sides of the nose, bring that powder towards the under eyes, and I'm also gonna use this to bake the center of the nose. Then to bronze, I'm using the Shapeshifter palette from Be Perfect Cosmetics in collaboration with Kohl's World. Taking the shade Baywatch, I'm going to apply that onto all the areas that I want to add a little bit of extra depth, some extra warmth, so the forehead, the cheekbones, and just a tad bit on the nose. And then for my blush, I'm also using the same Shapeshifter palette from Be Perfect in collab with Zachary Vang. And I'm using a mixture of shades Amulet and Laos and applying that onto the apples of the cheeks. I never thought that yellow is like a color that I needed in my life when I came to like blush. I don't know why, but it just looks so good as a blush. It just makes the cheeks look like super sun-kissed and just like golden and everything. I don't know. But yeah, I've been really loving this Shapeshifter palette from Cole and Zachary. You have like your bronzer / contour colors on one side and then like your blush highlighter colors on the other. It's literally perfect. I'm not leaving my bake on for too long today. Once I have my blush on, I'm going to dust away the extra bake on the sides of the nose and the under eyes, but I am going to leave that bake on the center of the nose and move on to brows. For brows today, I'm using the KVD Longwear Pomade and I'm using shade Deep Brown. I've been actually really liking these things to fill in the brows. I have like this weird thing where I switch between like fluffy brows and sometimes I'll be into more of like a sculpted brow, but I feel like I love brow pomades because it kind of gives me the versatility to switch between both depending on how I'm feeling that day. So I've been really liking these brow pomades and like the formula of it is really nice. Since this product is super pigmented, I'm going to make sure to use a really light hand with this and just kind of focus it on the areas that need it the most. So for me, that's the tail and the head of the brow. I'm not going to use as much product in the center. Then to clean up my brows, I'm using the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer and I'm mixing shades Golden Caramel and Warm Honey. I don't really like to go like too bright with my brow bone concealer. I'll usually stick to a shade that's a little bit closer to my skin tone. But I love using this as well to prime the eyes. So once I'm done finishing up carving underneath the brow, I'm going to go ahead and apply that to the eyelids. So now we're gonna move into this eye look. I love the way this eyes came out. Ah! I don't know what it is. I feel like this eye look is super outside of my comfort zone too. Like it's definitely like nothing I've ever done in the past. But yeah, I love the way that it came out. So a lot of the colors that I'm going to be using are from the Sample Beauty The Equalizer Palette Volume 2. I'm going to start off with this orangey shade called Whispering and apply that to the outer corners of the eyes. Because I ended up using a fluffier brush to apply this color, I went a little bit overboard and applied a little too much. So I ended up using a little bit of the Huda Beauty setting powder to clean up the outer corner. This is like a super metallic eye, but we definitely want to have like a base shade to kind of go underneath it. The metallics that I'm using are very like, you know, peachy, orangey type of colors. So having this shade underneath is going to act as a really nice base / transition for all of our metallics. And now it's time to start adding our metallic shades. So I'm going to be using the NYX Glitter Primer to apply this shade called O'Clock from the same Sample Beauty palette. I'm going to apply the NYX Glitter Primer first. It's going to give that shimmer something to kind of stick onto so it looks like that much shinier, that much more metallic. So I'm going to go in with like a flat brush to apply that first, and then I'll use another clean, like dense flat brush to apply that metallic right on top. So when I was doing my test eye and I finished applying that first metallic shade, I wanted it to be even more metallic. I was like, this is cute, but I want more. I ended up going in with the Jordana Tecia. This is her Base and Sparkle eyeshadow, and I love this stuff so much. It's so cute. So similar to her powder, this eye product has a cream base at the cap, and then if you unscrew the cap, it has a loose pigment at the bottom. So I'm going to be using both the eye base and the eye sparkle at the bottom. And this is more of a peachy shade, so it's going to go perfect with that first metallic eyeshadow that we applied. But the color that I'm going to be using is called Speechless. I'm going to go in with the eye base first and apply that onto the lid, and then I'll apply the sparkly pigment on the bottom right after. For my inner corner highlight, I'm going to go back into the Shapeshifter palette and apply that shade Charm. And for my waterline, you guys already know what I'm using. It's the Too Faced liner in shade Killer Cashmere. I'm going to finish up this eye using some mascara and lashes. The mascara that I'm using today is from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Pillow Talk Push Up Lashes Mascara. And for my lashes, I'm using Lily Lashes in the style Carmel. And that's going to be pretty much it for the eyes. I really wanted this eye look to be super soft, almost like angelic-like. So I just was like, you know what? Let's just skip shadow for the lower lash line. Just stick with some mascara and a nude liner and call it a day. So from here, I'm going to start filling in my lips. I'm going to line first using the Charlotte Tilbury. I'm using like a lot of Charlotte Tilbury products today, but I'm like low-key obsessed with the brands. Like there's so many good things, like so many good things. But yeah, I'm using these lip liners. I'm using shade Foxy Brown first, and then I'm going in with Pillow Talk 3 Intense. And then to fill in the lips, I am going to be using the Melt Cosmetics Ultra Matte Lipstick in shade Paris Fling. It has more of like this peachy nude type of look to it. I've been loving like tube lipsticks these days. They've just kind of been like my jam. And these Melt Cosmetics ones have definitely been a whole vibe. So once I was done putting on these cute little flower earrings, doing my hair and everything, I was just kind of feeling like this look needed like a little extra something. And then I decided, you know what? Let's go ahead and put some crystals, because crystals make everything better. So I had like these little pink Swarovski crystals that I got from, I think I got them from Hobby Lobby, and I put a few of them on the outer corner of the eye, and yeah, it just kind of took this look from already 100 to like a 500. I'm just kidding, let me stop. But yeah, I definitely loved this look so much better with like the crystals. It just kind of gave it a little bit of something extra. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this look, guys. I really hope you enjoyed today's makeup tutorial. I feel like this was totally out of my comfort zone. Like I've never done a look like this before, but I am absolutely in love. I want to try doing like an all metallic eye again with like different colors, like maybe red, I don't know, green, purple, purple or something, blue. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments, and if you have any suggestions, I'd love to hear them. And definitely give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I love you, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.